common mistakes.
Today, you'll learn the casual English mistakes people make all the time and how to fix them so your conversations sound smoother and more natural.
Some mistakes look tiny, but they change the whole feeling of a sentence. Fix just a few, and your English gets clearer fast.
Exactly, because this is not about being perfect. It's about saying normal things the way people really talk in daily life.
And stay with us, because some of these are probably mistakes you already make without noticing. If this podcast helps you, subscribe and like the video so you don't miss the next one.
Let's start with one that almost everybody says at some point. I am agree. In English, we just say, I agree.
Right, because agree is already the action. So not I am agree, just I agree or I totally agree.
Another common one is she have or he have. In casual English, that mistake stands out right away. So say she has and he has.
And people know the rule, but in real conversation, they rush. That's why it helps to practice tiny pairs like I have, she has, until it feels automatic.
Here's one I hear all the time. I have 30 years. In English, age uses am. So say I am 30 years old, or just I'm 30.
Yes. And most native speakers just say, I'm 30. Shorter, smoother, more natural. The shorter version usually helps your speech flow better.
Let's do a quick challenge. Bad version, I have 22 years and I am agree with you. Good version, I'm 22 and I agree with you.
That already sounds cleaner. Better English is often not longer English. A lot of the best fixes actually make your sentence shorter.
Another classic mistake is more easy instead of easier. People understand you, but easier is the natural choice. So you'd say, this app is easier to use.
Same idea with more fast. We usually say faster. These little changes make your English feel more polished.
Now let's talk about prepositions, because these can cause a lot of trouble. People say married with, but in English we say married to.
And that's frustrating, because translation pushes you in the wrong direction. English just has its own patterns, so the goal is repetition, not perfect logic.
Same with depend of. In English, it's depend on. So you can say it depends on the weather or it depends on my schedule.
Let's make that practical. If your friend says, "Are you coming tomorrow?" a natural answer is, "It depends on work," or "It depends on how tired I am."
Another mistake that sounds direct but unnatural is open the TV. Usually we say turn on the TV. We use open for apps, websites, doors, and maybe a window, but not the TV.
Exactly. You turn on the TV, turn on the lights, turn on the fan. But you open a message, open the fridge, open your phone app.
Let's stay with daily life. A lot of learners say, make a photo. In natural English, we usually say, take a photo or take a picture.
And if you're telling a story, that phrase comes up all the time. Wait, let me take a picture. That sounds simple, normal, and very useful in real conversations.
One mistake that can confuse people is, I borrowed him money, when you mean the opposite. If money goes from you to another person, you lend money. If it comes to you, you borrow money.
So the clean pair is this. Can I borrow $10? And I can lend you $10. That contrast is worth practicing out loud because it shows up in regular life.
Now we can slow down a little and talk about mistakes that hurt fluency, not just grammar. One big one is answering every question with a full textbook sentence. If someone asks, "Are you tired?" you do not need, "Yes, I am tired at this moment." You can just say, "Yeah, a little," or "Yeah, pretty tired."
That's such a good point because natural English is often lighter and looser. People don't always build perfect, complete answers in casual conversation. If your response fits the moment and sounds relaxed, that usually works better than a stiff sentence. A short answer can sound more confident than a long one.
Another fluency issue is using the same basic words again and again. If everything is good, your speech starts to sound flat. Try easy upgrades like nice, great, fun, weird, or not bad. Those words are still simple, but they give your English more personality.
And the goal is not to collect fancy vocabulary. The goal is to have a few natural options ready when you need them. Imagine a friend asks, "How was the movie?" Instead of always saying, "It was good," you could say, "It was fun," "It was kind of slow," or "It was better than I expected."
Let's do a small speaking drill. I ask, "How was your weekend?" Weak answer, "It was good." Better answers, "It was pretty relaxing," "It was busy but fun," or "It was nice, I mostly stayed home." Those are easy patterns you can actually reuse.
Here's another mistake learners make when they want to sound polite. They become too formal with friends. Instead of saying, "I would like to know if you are available," most people just say, "Are you free?" or "Do you have time?" Casual English is not rude when the tone is friendly.
Yes, and that matters a lot in listening too. If you only study formal textbook lines, real conversation can feel surprising. People shorten things, soften things, and leave words out. So if you hear "wanna come," that is just "do you wanna come" in a faster, more natural shape.
But notice, you do not need to force every reduced form into your speech right away. First, learn to recognize them. Then start using the ones that feel comfortable. That approach keeps your English clear while still helping you sound more relaxed over time.
Another common mistake is choosing the wrong verb in everyday routines. People say, "I put my clothes," when they mean, "I put on my clothes." That tiny word changes the meaning. Put is general, but put on is what we use for dressing.
Same with "I did a party" instead of "I had a party" or "I threw a party." English often uses a specific verb where other languages use a more general one. The best way to improve is by learning whole chunks, not just single words.
Let me give a quick real-life example. If you say, "Last Saturday I made a party in my house," people will understand, but it sounds off. A more natural version is, "Last Saturday I had a party at my place." That is the kind of sentence worth repeating a few times so it sticks.
And while we're there, "in my house" is not always wrong, but "at my house" or "at my place" is usually more natural when talking about an event or visit. These details make casual English feel real. They are small, but together they make a big difference in how smooth your speech sounds.
Another mistake happens when learners translate emotion phrases too directly. They say, I have hungry or I have cold. In English, we use am, so it becomes I'm hungry and I'm cold. These are basic phrases, but they appear all the time in daily conversation, so it's worth making them automatic.
And automatic is the key word. You don't want to build every sentence from zero while talking to someone. You want ready-made pieces. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm in a rush. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. When you own those chunks, conversations move more easily, and your listening gets stronger too.
Let's talk about over-explaining, because that can also hurt natural speech. Some learners answer a simple question with too much detail because they are trying to be correct. But real conversation usually works better in layers. Give a short answer first, then add more if the other person wants it.
For example, if someone asks, "Why were you late?" you can start with, "Traffic was bad," or "I missed the bus." That already works. Then if they ask again, you can give the full story. This makes you sound more natural and also reduces pressure.
Now here's a mistake with time expressions. People say, I am here since 2 hours. In English, we say, I've been here for 2 hours. We use for with a period of time, and that structure is much more natural in everyday conversation.
And if that feels long, you can still make it practical by drilling common patterns. I've been waiting for 10 minutes. I've lived here for 3 years. We've known each other for a long time. These are useful phrases because they come up in normal life.
Another area to watch is word order in questions. Learners sometimes say, you are coming. That can happen in some situations with the right tone, but the safe everyday version is, are you coming? Or, are you coming with us? If question order becomes automatic, your speaking gets much smoother.
One way to train that is to turn statements into questions out loud. You're busy becomes, are you busy? She likes it becomes, does she like it? They went out becomes, did they go out? That quick switch practice helps a lot because it teaches your mouth to move in natural English patterns.
Let's do a quick back and forth. You have time? Better. Do you have time? You like coffee? Better. Do you like coffee? He works here? Better. Does he work here? That drill may feel simple, but it fixes one of the most common conversation mistakes.
And here's something encouraging. You do not need to eliminate every mistake to sound good. Communication improves fast when you fix the errors that appear most often in your own speech. So listen to yourself. Notice your top 5 mistakes. Then work on those first.
That is a smarter strategy because progress feels visible. Maybe this week you focus on I agree, I'm 30, depend on, take a picture, and better short answers. If you clean up just those 5 things, your English already sounds more natural in real conversations. Small corrections can create a big shift in confidence.
Before we finish, here's a fast recap. Say I agree, not I am agree. Say I'm 30, not I have 30 years. Use depend on, married to, turn on the TV, take a picture, and natural short answers that fit real life. Repeat a few of those out loud today so they start feeling easier in your mouth and ears.
And one last challenge. Pick 3 mistakes from this episode and use the corrected versions in conversation this week. Where are you listening from? Thanks for being here, and subscribe for more.